Welcome to Cooking with the Seasons. In this video series, we will cover a broad range of topics related to healthy cooking and preparation of all the beautiful produce you'll find in your CSA box.
The key purpose of this class is to help you make the most of the produce you receive in your weekly box. We will learn ways to prepare snacks, sides, and meals that taste good, contain less sugar and salt, and use as little of your time and money as possible. For produce you can't use right away, we will present ways to preserve food for later use.
Hi, my name is Cathy. I'm a local dietitian and foodie, and I'm happy to be here today. And today I'm going to talk about how to prevent food waste. When I learned a few years ago that 40% of all food grown in the US ends up in the garbage, I was shocked. And this motivated me to start doing better to manage my own food at home. So why do we want to prevent food waste? Well, first, it saves money, and second, it helps the environment. When food ends up in the landfill, it does not make compost that feeds the soil. Food in the landfill breaks down without air and releases methane, which is a major cause of pollution in the United States. We can all help prevent pollution by minimizing food waste in our homes. And if you find that you have a lot of vegetable peels and vegetable waste that you can't use, consider starting a compost. For more information, contact WSU Mester Gardeners to find out more. And for more tips, recipes, and ideas for preventing food waste in the home, check out savethefood.com. Today we'll make pesto. Classic pesto is made with basil, olive oil, Parmesan, cheese, pine nuts, and garlic, but pesto is very flexible. And pesto is perfect on pasta, sandwiches, or crackers. Today we're going to make pesto with carrot tops. You can also make pesto with fresh spinach or other greens like collard or kale. The other things that you need would be a blender, food processor, or mortar and pestle to blend your pesto. Parmesan adds tang and saltiness but can be left out, or you can substitute white cheddar cheese. Olive oil is wonderful for pesto, but you can also use other clear nut or seed oils like sunflower oil, canola oil, or corn oil. If you are nut-free, you can omit the nuts. If you're a vegan, you can omit the cheese. And in the end, if you have any left over, it freezes very well and you can use it all year long. When you harvest a pumpkin, you can cut it open, take out the seeds, squeeze out the seeds, wash them, and then either roast them in a pan on the stove, which is what we're going to do today with a little oil, or in the oven. I like to roast pumpkin seeds and other seeds in the morning to add to my oatmeal or my cereal in the morning. You can add a little salt, you can add a little maple syrup and let it cook off for kind of a sweet and salty nut as well. But that's one way that you can save your pumpkin seeds from just throwing them out. Or another thing I'm going to show you today is how to preserve the stems and use the stems from greens. You may want to wash and taste the stems to see how tender or how tasty they are. My personal favorite are collard green stems. They're usually quite sweet and tender. Kale stems can be tender. Today we're going to use beet stems. Also lovely. You can saute the greens from beets, but also you can use the stems. Today we're going to make a quick pickle from the stems. Just mix your vinegar, water, salt, herbs, and spices. Pack your jar or bowl with your stems or cucumbers or other vegetable. Pour on the vinegar solution and refrigerate, and you have a quick pickle. Super simple, super quick. In addition to today's recipes, we'll provide you with handouts that include information on how long you can keep different fruits and vegetables in your refrigerator. A few of the highlights include that softer vegetables like cucumbers and soft lettuce will last 1 to 3 days. Greens, zucchini, peppers, 3 to 7 days, and potatoes, cabbage, onions, and garlic will last a week or more. Fruits that last 1 to 3 days include berries and avocados and bananas, 3 to 7 days, grapes, pears, watermelon, peaches, and no rush, keep them on your counter for a week or more, would include apples, lemons, limes, grapes, and oranges and grapefruit. So what do you do with ripe vegetables that have just stuck around too long in your refrigerator? For soft cucumbers, peppers, green beans, or radishes, you can make refrigerator pickles. With wilted greens, you can add to a soup. Or if it's a lettuce green, you can refresh it in ice water, drain, and add to your salad to crisp it up again. Mushy tomatoes can be added to a stew or make a simple pasta sauce, which we included in our handouts today. If you have a large zucchini and you're not sure what to do with it, one thing you can do is grate it and use it in zucchini bread, muffins, an omelet, soups, or sprinkle it on your salad. You can also put it in a bag and freeze it for later. Another thing you can do with grated zucchini is make a lovely rice zucchini casserole, and we're going to provide you with that recipe today in our handouts. You want 1 or 2 bunches of carrots and just start pulling off the greens. You don't necessarily have to use the stemmy part, the stems. I'm going to go ahead and twist off so it's a little easier. You could also use scissors for this part. Mostly we want the green leafy sections. They smell really good. Looks like this is going to make a couple cups of greens. You could also use spinach, kale, or a variety of greens. So the bigger stems I'm just pulling off. But we are going to blend these in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can use your blender. You can use a variety of herbs in your pesto in addition to the spinach or carrot tops, like cilantro, basil, and parsley. All right, we've got almost all the leafy greens out of there. Looks like packed in, it's about 2 cups. And you can add almost any proportion. So this is some fresh basil. Again, we're gonna add about 2 cups of fresh basil packed in. So these all of our greens. You can use walnuts, pine nuts, or seeds. We're using today roasted sunflower seeds. And I'm gonna use about 1/2 cup. A couple cloves of garlic, some roasted sunflower seeds. I'm gonna lock in the food processor and blend it for a couple minutes until it's nice and smooth. You may want to stop it once or twice and push down your ingredients so it gets a good thorough blend. If it seems too thick, you could add a little more oil. So the carrot tops make a lovely bright green pesto that you can use in crackers, on pasta, and sandwiches. It freezes really well. I like to put mine in tiny jars, or you can put it in a bag and label it. So we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of water to our bowl or measuring cup, 6 tablespoons of vinegar, and this is approximate. Truly, as long as you're getting the approximate proportions, you can do as many as you like. I'm going to use about 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to grind in a little pepper, or you can just add 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Swirl. If you don't have a whisk, just use a fork. You do want this to cover your vegetables. If you don't like your vinaigrette super tart, you can add some sugar. I think that's especially good for cucumbers, but you can always add some sugar, sweetener, agave to kind of cut the tang or the vinegar taste. And I'm going to cut them all in approximately the same size. I have a couple that are too tall for the jar. Then just pour on your vinaigrette, let it sit in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight. Pop on the lid, let it sit for a few hours in the fridge or overnight, and you have a beautiful, quick pickle. Next, we're going to roast our pumpkin seeds that we cleaned out of a pumpkin earlier and rinsed them off and got all the little bits of pumpkin out. We're going to add about a teaspoon or so of oil. I roast walnuts this way in the morning and add them to my oatmeal. So it's a super simple way to roast your seeds. Just about done. And at this point, when they start to brown, is when you really have to watch them, because they'll go from, I would say it takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depends on how powerful your stove is. And those look just about right to me. Nicely browned. Let them cool, and it makes a great snack. Kids love pumpkin seeds, and so do I. We're just gonna drain those off a little bit. And voila, wonderful snack, and you didn't waste all those lovely seeds, which are packed with protein and fiber from inside of your pumpkin. We'd love to hear from you about how you prevent food waste. If you have recipes and ideas, please share in the comments below.